understand. Hey, everybody. I know I had the other thing set up, but you guys, I was going to delete it. I set up a stream, but it says now that I'm streaming. You guys, hello. Hey, Shreyasi, am I saying that right? Probably not, and I apologize. But we'd scheduled a stream, and then when you go into it, it won't let me go live. It's like, hey, you need streaming software. And I'm like, but I just said I want to go live. And now I just did the same exact thing, and here we are. So Lord only knows. Hey, Laura, hey, Christian, hey, Sarah, hey, Tance, hey, Dreamer Official, and Amber P. How's everybody doing? Welcome. I have exciting news. Oh, hey, TK. Hey, yo. We get to chat. We will be answering some questions. We're going to hang out for about an hour. Hey, Bobby. Oh, from Minnesota. And Chanty from Switzerland. Switzerland. Hello from South Lake. Hey, hey, Emily. How's everybody doing? Yeah, you found me, Ray. Yay. And sorry, I apologize that I opened the other one and then I couldn't go live. So that was my bad. Oh, Sean says I need more light. I think it's fine, but it's okay. Okay. Oh, Ashley Boston Volleyball is here. It has been a while. Wow, that was a lot of chat. Oh, Sarah, this is just water. I have two drinks. I always like to think of myself as what's his name? It was Kelly. It was like mornings. Oh, Regis Philbin. Do you guys remember? So I have coffee. This is iced cold brew with oat milk, and this is water. But we always have colored plastic cups, which I think confuses people. But do you guys remember Regis Philbin had like 7 cups when he would do his morning show? Or am I too old? Do you guys not know what that is? Hey everybody. Hey, oh, other people in Tejas. We got some Texans. I am officially a Texan. So yeah, that happened. Sean and I moved to Austin. Hey, hey, hey. So how is everybody doing? All right, we're getting some spam. Okay, cool. How it feels like it's Monday, but I know it's Tuesday because we had a long week kind of, even though I half worked yesterday. Mm, from Toronto. Oh my goodness, we watched the Stanley Cup playoffs last night, and we thought the Canadians, Sean's team, if you don't know, were going to get booted out, but they won, and we were so excited. Everything's bigger, right? Honestly, the biggest change in Texas for me, well, there's a lot. The park usually, and number two is that people. Oops, sorry, I hit my mic. Number two, because I'm using a fancy mic, is that people are nice. Imagine that. And it's not that people in LA are jerks, but they're not as nice. So nice. Yay. Okay. Says, yeah, I know. Go Habs, go. So excited. Oh, South Carolina. Yeah, I'm dating you guys. Oh, actually, in residential treatment. So that's where you've been. Well, I'm glad that you're back. Now, I've been debating doing like a mini, maybe just like 2 or 3 cities, doing like a little tour, if you can call it a tour, but not like huge auditoriums, obviously. But I don't know how many people would be interested. I know COVID makes people kind of scared, but I was thinking of doing like a little tour and seeing how that goes. And maybe that's something that I do over the years. Like every year we do a couple places so that I can meet all of you. And so, yes, I did move to Texas, Glenn. And so anyways, I'm thinking about it and I don't know what you guys would think. I know Montreal for the win. So, oh, you'd go? Okay, awesome. Well, I think we do one, Tatiana, in Texas because we're here and things are open. And then, I don't know, we'd have to figure it out. I'll have to decide where most of you are and where you'd want to hang out and see me and if we could do that thing, you know? So, oh, and will there be more workshops? Yes, we will do more workshops. I frankly just haven't had the bandwidth to even create a new one yet, but I'm thinking, I know I've had a lot of requests for anxiety, although I have my anxiety workbook that'll be available. I'll post about that now. We've finished finally editing the videos and all the stuff that goes along with that. Um, but but yeah, that will come out. But I've had a lot of people wanting eating disorder based workshops, depression, anxiety, you name it, trauma, all that stuff. So, uh, oh, okay. It's funny how it like holds certain comments when they're just generic, basic ones. But anyway, so yeah, Boston. I love Boston. I'd love to come to Boston, George. So, anyways, yeah, I would. we'll definitely try and I'll see. And I don't know California, obviously love the state, but I don't know if they're open or what, what would be happen like if they're open and they'd allow someone to come or not. But anyway, yeah, so we'll figure it out. Oh, Rochester, New York. Yes, Katie, that's what I'm here to talk about. Oh, thanks, Ashley. That's so sweet of you. Of course, I'm glad that you're enjoying the videos and everything like that. Okay. The big announcement is, drum roll, please. My book is available for pre-order. Look at how pretty she is. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? So it's called Traumatized: Identify, Understand, and Cope with PTSD and Emotional Stress. It's available. You can order it now on Amazon. Honestly, anywhere books are sold. Just look up Katie Morton Traumatized and you can get your now. Technically, it won't come out until September 7th. And if you are in the UK and other parts of the world, it'll be the end of September when it's shipped out there, because I was asking my publisher about this because we had trouble with the first book, Are You Okay? A Guide to Caring for Your Mental Health. When that came out, they didn't let me know that like people in Switzerland, it was going to take like 4 more weeks for them to get done. So everyone's like, hey, there's my book. And publisher let me know that when this is available on September 7th in the States is where they print it right away. But it just takes a while for them to get to the UK. So even though they're shipped at the same time, things are usually delayed by a few weeks. So Ray, it turns out I'm not okay. Yay, Megan. She's already pre-ordered and she's so excited. Because you're getting now number, you know me too well. But isn't she pretty? I'm excited. Now this is like not an edited version. So the funny thing about these is that these are called galley copies, and you get a bunch of them as the author. You get like maybe 10 or 15 copies of like these, where you can give them out to other people and to like read and review. When people review the book, they get this copy. And so, oh, your therapist pre-ordered it, Sadie, girl, that's awesome. Yay. And so anyway, so this isn't exactly, the back will be black and this will be black as well. So the real final version, it'll have my photo on it too. So, but these are just the unedited galley copies. Oh, Lexi, you can order on Amazon, anywhere books are sold. Just look up Katie Morton Traumatized. And actually, you put it in the chat? Oh, Sean just put it in the chat as me. Do you guys see it? There it is. It's funny. Sean talking to me. Not hardcover, Ray. I believe, or actually, it will be just like the Are You Okay? It will come out as a hardcover. But galley copies are always paper. And they don't actually call them hardcover. They call them like paper. No, they call it paper on cardboard or something. It's not, it doesn't have like a, like this, you guys. It is a hardcover, but you know how like traditional hardcovers have the thing that goes over it, like the book cover itself. I don't like to do that. I don't like those. Is that weird? I don't like them, and they always get in the way. So it will be this hard cover, but they call it paper on cardboard, which is things that you learn. Oh, Amber says, "What up? What up, Sean?" And yes, there will be an ebook and Kindle version. You can pre-order those as well now, and it will be me doing it. I haven't done the actual voice, like the reading, the audiobook yet, but I will. I think they're just trying to figure out. Oh, the Canadian Rockies, James, beautiful up there. But yes, it'll be audio. You guys can do audiobooks and Kindle book, anything that you want, ebooks, audiobooks, all that stuff will be available. You can pre-order all of those now, and then on the 7th, you will be able to download it. Ward, the big news is that my book is available for pre-order. So yes, positive change. I didn't design the cover, but I gave them a bunch of other pieces of art and other covers that I liked, and then told them the colors that I liked, and they came back with this. And we played around a little bit with the different colors, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. And if you haven't picked up my first book, it's still available too. And so anyways, part of the reason that I was talking about maybe doing, like the little tour thing is so that I can sign books and like meet you people. And then, if you want to come to the different events, then, different tickets would come with the book. So you can just get the book that way. And that could be easy too. But I wasn't fancy, so fancy. But anyway, yeah. So get yours pre-order today. Yay! I'm excited. I hope that you guys love it. So I'll tell you if you here, let me put this book over here. And then, yes, dust jacket. Thank you, Raymond. That's what it's called. I'm not a fan of a dust jacket. Oh, hey, Justin. Hey, hey. Okay, so the different chapters, again, I don't know, but don't worry when I do decide to do the tour, because right now it's still just like an idea and I have to get somebody to help me do it and pick out the cities and stuff like that. You guys will be the first to know. I will post it in the community tab. I'll post it on my Instagram and my Twitter. I'll let you all know where I'm going to go. Oh yeah, book club. Um, so anyways, I'll get in a VW van, a road trip. Whoop whoop. That will be fun, TK. I love a road trip, but I will let you know what cities and when way in advance, and you'll be able to purchase tickets, and we'll do all of the things. So the book Traumatized, I'm going to tell you what the different chapters are. Oh, thanks, Greg. I'm so glad that it's been helpful. Yeah, you have a great week as well. So I'll tell you what the chapters are so that you can, decide if this is something that could be helpful for you. So chapter 1 is essentially about our shared trauma. This was an add-on after COVID happened because we were all traumatized. And so it's called Our Shared Trauma: How Social Media Affects Our Mental Health. So I talk about the connectivity of social media and how it can be good, but it can also be kind of overwhelming. And then the second chapter is, have I been traumatized? Like PTSD, what you need to know about it, how it's diagnosed, what it can feel like, all that stuff. Then I get into the third chapter is what can cause PTSD. So what does it mean to be traumatized? And I had my good friend and colleague, Dr. Alexa Altman, who you guys will see on my channel soon. We did a bunch of videos together back before Sean and I left Santa Monica. And she has a little blurb in here about big T's versus little T's and what that means. And so um, hopefully that will help people better understand whether or not they've been traumatized. And then chapter number 4 is all about dissociation. So what is it? Why does it happen? Then chapter number 5 is what is repeated trauma or complex PTSD, and how is it different from PTSD, traditional PTSD? And so that will, yeah, so that one's really interesting. And then chapter number 6 is, are we sure it's complex PTSD? So it's like teasing it out from other diagnoses, because often people will say, oh, is it borderline personality disorder? Is it complex PTSD? Is it bipolar disorder? Like, what is it? And so I'll break that down so you can kind of see how it differentiates from other diagnoses. And is this too much? Am I going too fast? But yes, I hope that you like it. Oh, hello, Conan. Hello, hello. So, okay, I'm trying to see if there's any questions. Oh, my merch and stuff is not available on Amazon, but it is available on YouTube. Below all of my videos, it's on the little shelf there, and you can get all the things. Sean will pin it in the chat. Okay, Sean's gonna put it in the chat. And Annie Kate says, it seems like treating trauma should be standard training for therapists. I 100% agree. Says, have you actually treated any patients with no trauma? I mean, I have, as far as I know, I've had some patients over the years that have no trauma, but by and large, I would say that like 80% of my patients have had some kind of trauma in their background. Also, you guys know I specialize in the treatment of eating disorders and self-injury work, and we all know those are coping skills for bigger things, and that's usually trauma. And I think that that's honestly the reason this book, so I sold this book idea to the same publishers as the last book. Dan, my editor, is just wonderful and was willing to work with me again. But I sold this book idea back in October of 2019. So even before COVID or any of the stuff that has taken place in the last year and a half. And that was because, kind of to Annie's question or slash comment, is that I believe everybody in trauma and we don't always know or recognize what it is because it's so common. I think that we often think traumas have to be these huge events. Where it's like, oh, I have to be in a train, like in an accident on a train or in an airplane or a car, or I have to have been like beaten by my parent, or there's got to be something big. But divorce is a trauma, bullying is a trauma. There's a lot of ways that we can be traumatized. And so that's where the idea for this book was born, is because, people are, I think trauma is way more common than we let on. So that's how it. Yay, Hadley, you just ordered the book. Whoop whoop. And I will be, if you like are not able to either come to meet me at some point or anything like that, don't worry. I will be doing signed book plates and stuff just like I did for Are You Okay? I'll be sending those out Oh, I'm so glad, James says your information from your videos have been very helpful, along with my psychiatrist and mental health counselor through trauma and PTSD. Thank you. Of course, I'm so glad I could be a helpful resource. And that's what I'm really hoping for with this book is that it's a full resource. So let's keep cruising through the chapters so you know what you're getting. Oh, Ashley, I'm so sorry. She says I was traumatized by bullying. Yeah, I believe, trauma is just more common and people try to downplay things like, oh, it's just kids being kids or, oh, they just roughhouse. No, you shouldn't fear for your safety or your life. Okay. Oh, and C asks, when does the AKA question tab get posted weekly? So will not be coming out this Sunday because I'm taking next week off. It's vacation for Sean and I. It's also our anniversary, but it's every Sunday morning at, I believe it's like 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I can double check that, but I'm like 99.9% sure. Yay, Lexi just pre-ordered. I'm so excited. I wish I could. That's why I want to do a tour because I want to see you guys. I know that COVID made things weird, but like I still think we need to see each other. Don't you guys agree? Oh, I will, TK. TK says hi, Sean. Says hello. Oh, thanks, Megan. Yeah. We'll have been married 8 years. Isn't that crazy? Goes by so quick. Um, oh, of course, Mentally Healthy with Yasmin. I love that you have another YouTube channel about mental health. That's wonderful. And you're a psychology student. You're going to make an amazing mental health clinician once you're out of school. I cannot wait to see what you create. So yeah, so we're taking next week off. So, but other than this coming Sunday, there won't be any, but next Sunday there will be one. So, okay. Positive change. So the book itself does not, unfortunately, you run out of space in books to cover things like religious trauma, but hang in there because all of the stuff that I could not include in this book because it would be like 7,000 pages long. Like, honestly, you guys, each chapter could be its own book. As I was writing this, I kept having to talk to my editor and my team because I was like, this is just, and he even broke a couple chapters into two. When I pitched this book idea, it was 9 chapters, and I think it's 15. uh 13, yeah, it's 15 chapters. So I will be doing a whole YouTube video, and I'm happy to do more on religious trauma. So positive change, you wait, hang in there, and have your notifications turned on because it'll probably be coming out in the next like month or two. I'm working on that as well. um Yes, exactly, Bethany. The questions from Patreon, a ton of questions about religious trauma. I, oh, see, the book will be available September 7th, but you can pre-order yours now. Okay. So, yeah, is there any oh, and I love cheesecake. Somebody asked if I like cheesecake. Oh, Jizz Jazz. Of course I love cheesecake. Who doesn't? That would be crazy. Maybe if I was lactose intolerant, I wouldn't, but I am not. I'm not intolerant. Okay. Let's get into more chapters. So after we talk about complex PTSD, chapter 7, we get into attachment styles. And I talk about the 4 attachment styles and why trauma is often rooted in childhood. And yes, Jessica, it will be sold in stores. I don't I know that all the major ones like the Barnes and Nobles of the land and all of that will have it, but I don't know because until the reviews come out for it, which I believe they go live like next month when people who've gotten the early copies will offer their thoughts on it, then buyers from different like Costco, Barnes and Nobles, things like that will then be able to decide if they want to purchase. So I don't really know. Yeah, I don't really know exactly where, but you can get it Amazon, Barnes and Noble online. You can pre-order those two now or anywhere books are sold. And we can also, Sean put the link into the chat where you can just purchase it directly from the publisher. So it doesn't even matter, where you are. But you guys let me know. Yay, Lori. Lori pre-ordered. So exciting. And so anyways, yes. Oh, Jennifer does not like cheesecake, even though she loves each ingredient individually. Isn't it funny how you can like something that's separate, but once they mix with others, you're like, absolutely not. Oh, Raymond, here's hoping. I don't know if it'll be possible to be a New York Times bestseller, but if so, we'll have to celebrate in a big way. I'll have to I don't know. We'll have to see what we can do. With COVID, it makes things tricky. But back before COVID, when I sold the book idea, I was like, I really want to do a book tour like all over, like go to London and Chicago, New York, LA, Seattle, everywhere, Florida, wherever, Texas, Dallas. But now with COVID, I'm not sure what's available. But we will. Oh, cowbell. Yes, Raymond, the cowbell is in my office. I just happen to be in the podcast room so that you guys can hear me okay. But oh, thank you, Midnight Smoker. That's so sweet of you. But oh, the book is all about trauma. And so, oh, and then Need Some Peace says, glad you're going to cover CPTSD. Cover art is soothing. Yay. I'm glad I love those colors. I'm glad you guys like that too. Yes, we need a lot more trauma informed providers, especially those who understand elders. Agreed. And hopefully more and more people are getting trained, and the more we all talk about it, right? Books, videos, conversations online, like your voice is just as powerful, if not more powerful than mine, and the more we share in content about this, hopefully the more people will realize how important it is, um that we talk about trauma more. TK, damn it, Katie, stop being so humble. Promote your Patreon. I have a Patreon. So if you have questions that you want answered each and every month, we do a 3 to 4 hour live stream where we just answer questions and chat with each other. And then I also do live hangouts with people one on one and as groups. And then we have another live stream every month with those in the $50 tier and above so that we can answer even more questions and catch up with people. So if you want to, if that's what you're interested in, Patreon is the thing. Totally, exactly. We're talking about the book. Annie Kate gets it. So let's get into um, the next chapter. So chapter 7 was all about attachment styles, and we talk about inner child stuff there a little bit. And then chapter 8 is all about trauma being passed down and what's transgenerational trauma. We had a member of our community who's wonderful who talked about how even after a war had ended, certain deer in the area wouldn't cross over where the old, essentially it was like, I want to say they were electric fences. And so anyway, the deer still don't cross that line. It's like they're either live on that side or that side because of the traumas of all, I'm assuming all the animals that ran into that electric fence. And that's just indicative of how we as mammals, as living beings, pass on generationally things to protect the next generation from potential upset and hurt. And we do that. And, we could talk about it in relation to the Holocaust or any war that any country's been through. Anyway, so we talk a lot about that and how we can stop. Oh, yay, Anna pre-ordered it. Woo, woo, woo. Yay. Okay. So it gets crowded in here at times with my inner child. Um, oh, yes. Good question, Keller. I did do the audio. I did the audio for, it was actually really fun. I enjoyed doing the audio. I did the audiobook for my first book, Are You Okay? And I'm going to do the audio for this book. So you can pre-order your audio, your ebooks, however you like to digest content like this. It will be my voice though, so don't worry. Although it would be really fun to get like Morgan Freeman to do my book, but I don't think I have that kind of budget. Wouldn't that be awesome? That she would be amazing. Okay, so attachment styles and rooted in childhood, then the transgenerational trauma, then moving on to chapter 9. Remember, there's 15 chapters, but how many pages is it? I don't even remember. Hold on, you guys, hold on. And there's tons of notes and takeaways and homework and stuff like that. Well, 224 till the end, and then you got the epilogue, and then you got notes, and you got other tools. But yeah, so that's how long it is. I did, Wesley. I did talk about somatic experiencing, and I had to I talk about schema therapy, somatic experiencing, talk about EMDR, and I even talk about some newer treatments. Well, not really newer, but uh, not therapeutic in the like talking. It's like a medical treatment, like stellate ganglion block and vagus nerve stimulation. Both are neurological treatments that have been shown to treat trauma. Fascinating, you guys. I read so much about this stuff. It was really interesting. Oh, yay, Cosmic Pixie pre-order. I'm so excited. Oh, Megan, I love homework too. So I'm glad that you do. Like each chapter, you'll see it has like key takeaways so that you can like follow up, or like if maybe it was, because there's a lot of information here. So at the end, hopefully it kind of helps you better remember what you read and digest the content a little bit better. Oh, thanks, Tanner. Okay. So we're moving on. So with transgenerational trauma, then chapter 9 is the science of trauma memories. So it's like, why do I feel so scared? Why do I not have memory of this? Or why is it like in chunks and bits? Or why does it feel like my trauma in that film? Because it does a great job of explaining our memories and letting us know why it is the way that it is. Oh, Gilbert, the title of the book is Traumatized. Identify, understand, and cope with PTSD and emotional stress. Okay. So Moving on. Hey, Stacy's gonna pre-order. You can question. Might not get to all of them, but to get to see them, but it just goes so fast. Yay, Miss Sarah, Real Talk is pre-ordering now. I'm so excited. Okay. Oh, James Jones, that awesome. If he could narrate, I would love that. Now, chapter number 10 is how can we recover? And that's like the benefits of neuroplasticity, like how our brain can change and like essentially that you can teach an old dog new tricks. I talk about that. And so it is hard. And Dan says, like, I hate having so much missing, like the missing memory. It can be really hard, and I get it. It oh, you can't find a hard copy on Canadian Amazon, only Kindle. Cindy, I'm sorry. Especially because my family is in a lot of my family's in Canada. We'll have to figure that out. I think can you do if you click the link that Sean put above, Cindy, the is that the Scene Punk one, honey? Oh, that's for my first book. But okay, Sean just put that click on that one, Cindy, and let me know if it shows up, the right thing for you, or if it doesn't show it up on Amazon. And oh, Vanessa, would I do a house tour? I mean, maybe right now, actually today, later today, we have somebody coming by to help us hang up certain things on the walls because we have like nothing on the walls. And I know you all love, I wish I had been here in the other room, but the newspaper background, she's here. She made it. Do not worry. But yeah, so we could do more of a house tour. I could totally do that. But you're probably on Instagram because I don't really do it on my channel because you guys, you don't come there to know more. You come to learn more, right? Right? I don't know. Um, oh, says it's true. In Canada, I can't buy a hard copy anywhere. That we're gonna ping our pills because that is frustrating and sounds like we're putting like fishnets out. No, but the Wi-Fi is not that strong. It doesn't work. Bummer. Okay, we're gonna figure it out. Oh, Barnes and Noble's also taking pre-orders. Ted, let us know. Thank you, Ted. That's really helpful. Oh, okay. Someone in Canada found it. So, Talal, it should be available in Saudi Arabia. It should be available everywhere. The main Oh, and I wanna say it's supposed to be available worldwide, so you should be able to order from my publisher and they ship it out to you. But I do also wanna let you know if finances are an issue for you, go to your library and ask them to order a copy for you. I we did a big push with Are You Okay to let people know that they could do that because I know for some people they're like, "Hey, your $20 is not in my budget," and I totally understand, and also wanna support our libraries and, go in and be, I don't even know what you'd call it, just being a community member. So you can let them know, "Hey, this book is coming out, can you order it?" And they will pre-order, and then they'll let you know when it's in stock, and you can go pick it up for free. So I think, yeah, I think it is I don't think that so I'm sorry. Yes, I'd assume it's supposed to be available worldwide, you guys, so don't worry. That is funny, Bike LaChapelle says the video isn't laggy, she's just speaking Texan. I love it. I love it. Um, oh, you can donate to the library. Yes, of course, Abby. That's where I've always taken book of ours, I've already read them, or they're ones that I didn't end up using. I always donate to the library, and I really encourage people to do that too. And the libraries do still exist, Ray. And, Raymond, we haven't been able to put up the Weathervania because the Rubik's guy has he's supposed to buy later today, and I'll see if he's doing that work or if he's doing in the house work, but I'll keep you posted. Okay. Where will the audiobook come out? You didn't find my first book there. The first book had an audiobook. I'm not sure it's on Audible or any of the places where audiobooks. If you're looking for a specific one, let me know and I can let you know, where to find it if there was one where it wasn't there. It won't let people order from Canada. John, yay, he's going to pre-order today. Okay, Sanchi says I'm from India. My younger sister has schizophrenia. It's taking its toll on me and my mental health. Everything is gloomy. How do I deal with this issue? Get yourself some support. If there is a therapist in your area or even just group counseling, even online, there are groups and counseling available. Getting support for you as you manage, because other people's mental health affects us and we have to take care of ourselves just as much. Okay, let's get back into this chapters because I'm buffering like crazy. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I can take my phone off of the internet and make Sean get off the internet, but you know, let's see. You guys, I'm sorry. I'll turn off Wi-Fi. I turned off the Wi-Fi, but okay. Now, oh yay, Ashley Boss is gonna pre-order. Whoop whoop. Okay, let's see. We have chapter 11. We're almost through. The foundation of healing, finding the right treatment. So this is where I go through all of the different types of therapies that are available and how they work. And, so you are more informed when you go to try to find someone to help. You have information so that you can pick the right person, because I think that's kind of the problem with therapy and stuff, is that oftentimes we don't even know what we don't know, and we go into therapy hoping that the therapist just knows their shit, and they don't always. And so this ensures that we at least are informed enough to make sure we get the right treatment. And I know hopefully fiber's coming. Oh, thanks, Ariana. Do I wear wigs, Joel? I don't wear wigs, but that would be fun. That could be a fun thing that I do. Oh, Brittany pre-ordered. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. Now, question number 12 is triggers, how to identify what causes our trauma. So I get into like your five senses and how we can identify what is triggering us and how we can better manage and like build up our resilience, which then moves into chapter 13, breaking the cycle, avoiding future trauma and triggers. So how do we do that? How do we get out of this like triggered trauma response kind of go we caught in? And uh oh, that's a good question. He says, "Will you offer both books as a bundle in the future?" I don't know how that works, but that would be cool if I can. I'll talk to my publisher and see, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm still kind of new to the book world, I guess. Only 2 books, but if that's something that I can make happen, I will ask and I will do my best. Okay. Now, 14 is about resilience, how to build it and keep it, and what it is. And the final chapter, chapter 15, is building support, how to have healthy relationships. So, yeah, you can pre order yours now. And I'm just so excited. I hope that you all love it. I would love to get your feedback and your input once it's out into the world. Make sure you leave your reviews and all of that stuff. Oh, Rawl, yay, just ordered it for his wife. Oh, she's going to school for psychology. That is awesome. Yay. That is wonderful. So yeah, so that's what it looks like. And this is my first book. I'll see if we can bundle them. That was a great idea. I didn't know, I don't know how to do that, but if I can, I will, you guys. That is wonderful. I know, I don't know what's up with the wigs. I mean, people have wigs and I'm, I, I would love to wear a wig, but I don't even know how to do that. Okay. Don't have relationships, Wesley. Wait for life. Hey, it's perfect to be alone. Rachel, I only keep books. I know. They're like my book babies, and I worked on them. It's a crazy amount of work that goes into it, and the publishing world is like so slow. Where I'm used to the digital space, where it's like you create and it goes out and we're done. But this is, I've been working on it since, oh God, like right before COVID hit. So, oh, it's on its way. Yay. Roller girl. It's so exciting. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'm so glad that you guys are ordering them. Hopefully we'll figure it out. Yay, Natalie. Natalie's gonna order too. Does Sean have a hair trigger? He does. He does. But hopefully we'll figure out why it's not available in Canada. And I will get on Instagram and YouTube stories and let you know about it and do a swipe up if I can in Instagram so that you know how to get it, because I don't know what's going on with that. But we will ping the team and figure it out. Rachel just made you laugh. I know. I think it's because I don't know. It's almost like when you're doing books and stuff, you come in contact with other authors who've written like 15 books. Like my friend Dr. Caroline Leaf, she's like, "Oh, I have a new book coming out." And I was like, "Oh my God." And then I went to look to order on site and I was like, "Homegirl's written like 12 books." Like, holy what? Because after I wrote the first one, I was like, I don't know if I could do that again. It was so much work. But hey, people do it all the time. But yeah, you're right. 2 books is a lot. It's a lot. 1 book is a lot. Well, thanks, Lightworker of Inner Realms. That's a fun name also. Oh, perfect, Raymond. Yeah, and if you can order it from your local bookstore, that really does help out. I know that we have to support our little local yokel people. Oh, yes, Danita. My news says, can you recap your news, please? Yes, my book, my Second book, Traumatized, is available for pre-order now. You can get yours anywhere books are sold, but apparently in Canada, it's just not quite available. And I don't know, I hope it comes out soon and is available there, but it might just be, I don't know. I don't know why it's not available yet. So, oh, Megan, yeah, I've thought about doing journals and things like that too, but I have my journal, my DFTBA. I did a journal through them years ago, and it's still available, and it's a black leather bound journal, and it says "Getting My Shit Together" embossed on it, and it's my favorite. So I really love that. Oh, I finished writing the book. Let me think about that. So I started writing it. I want to say it was due in December. I think I finished like last December. That's how long it takes, because then I want to say it was like December 2nd or something. But it takes like months for them to edit it. So my editor had to get back to me and edit the chapters and like take some stuff out. Like I said, like religious trauma didn't make it because there wasn't enough room. And and then they do copy editing, which is when you're like, do I even understand the English language? There's like, where do semicolons go? What is a semicolon? Commas, periods are all not where they're supposed to be. What? So they fix all that. And then you approve all of that. And yeah, and then they do the cover art, and then you have to do like your uh, dedication and your the epilogue and introduction and all of that stuff, and then I have to do my notes. It's just this huge process, and so it just went to print like last week, 2 weeks, so it will happen. Um, Joel, I don't have religious trauma. I was raised in a church. Of course, Talal, thanks for hanging out. So anyways, I was raised in church, but I don't go anymore. Just never really, I don't know. Once I moved out of the house, I was like, peace out, Boy Scout. But I know that religious trauma is very common. And I do have a couple of books that I've purchased. And one was given to me from a member of our audience about combating cult mind control. It's about cults and stuff like that. So I'll get into that. And uh yeah, and there'll be a video that's coming out, but it's unfortunately there was not enough space in this book to cover it. So I will, but it will be in a video coming soon. And yes, Keisha should be available worldwide. I don't know, apparently maybe for pre-order it's not necessarily available everywhere right now, which kind of sucks. I understand. But but yeah, should be, it's available worldwide. Oh, and then niece asks, do you see book number 3 in the future? I mean, I think so. I don't, it's hard to even like right now, I'm like, absolutely not. But that's how I was with the last one where I'm like, I don't have any words left to write. But I definitely would love to continue writing every few years, because the last book came out in 2018, in December of 2018. And so this one will come out September of 2021. So maybe it's like a three year I need a 3-year break, which means like 2 years before I write again. Um yeah, so maybe I think the next one would probably be maybe more, I don't know if it's eating disorder based or borderline personality disorder based, or yeah, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, post-writing fatigue. Exactly. Oh, hey Iris. Hello. I hope so, Old Pueblo Vegan. That's a fun name also. I enjoy your guys' usernames so much. Um, just jazz. I don't really do fun accents. I'm not very good at accents, I'll be honest. And if you want to hear a funny accent, you have to listen to Sean and I's podcast from last week, because I do my best at a British accent. But you know, heaven help us. Um, Isabel says, I'm kind of afraid to pursue psychology as a main field. Any tips? I mean, if you're not interested in something, don't feel like you have to. I feel like so often we think we want to be one thing, and we think we want to go to school to do this one career path, but there's nothing that says we can't change our minds, or that we maybe we end up not liking it, because that happens a lot too, where I've had a lot of friends who were going to do their masters in clinical psychology like I did, and then decided they didn't really think it was for them. Practice in the field as a counselor, and just decided not to. But I guess my main advice for, yes, positive change, I'll get into that a little bit too. But I think that being scared, you have to decide where it's coming from, because learning something new and starting a career is always a little scary. But if you find it interesting and fulfilling, just keep putting one foot in front of the other, one day at a time, one moment at a time. Now, somebody asked, oh, yeah, positive change says, I'm a psych major and it feels like trauma wasn't discussed enough in my abnormal psych class. Correct. 100%. And also, why is that abnormal psych, right? That always frustrated me and I don't understand. It should be like it should be a class because it is so common and hopefully we'll see some change. That's something that I might try to talk to with people that I know in the collegiate space to see if we can change that because I think it should be more common and taught. It is so common that it should be taught. Everyone should be taught it. Um, and then Zahara asked why the CPTSD is not recognized in the DSM because the DSM kind of sucks. The DSM, that actually got pulled from this book. My editor's like, they don't need to know that, but I essentially shit talked the DSM for a couple of pages where I was like, it doesn't. He was like, I don't think it gives anything to the book, and he was right. I think it was just because the more I read about trauma and the more I read about CPTSD, I was like, why is this so limiting, and why is dissociation like not its own thing as a spectrum? Like it should be dissociative spectrum disorders. Like why isn't there? And I was all angry. And so I wrote about it. And my editor was like, no. So, but the DSM has a lot of issues. It's the way that they have to go about putting things into the DSM and taking things out. And they have things in there and things that aren't in there that research proves should be or shouldn't be. And they're really slow to change. And frankly, it's really ineffective manual, but it's all that we've got. All we have is the ICD-10 and the DSM-5. And unfortunately, as a clinician, we're forced to use those for insurance. But that's, in short, why complex PTSD isn't in there because they suck and they don't always make the change that they should. There was another question I had seen from Bobby. Yeah. It says, how do you deal with all of your family being narcissistic, passive aggressive, and not respecting my boundaries and enablers for each other? Honestly, distance if you're able, Bobby. I think when we can put space, I mean, that is a physical boundary, right? We're not letting them get too close to us, but limiting the amount of time you spend with those people until we are at a place where we feel able to uphold the boundaries, meaning that even if they try to overstep them, we're like, hey, that's not appropriate. And if you continue, I'm going to have to leave. And we leave. And I know that that's really, really, oh, Keely pre-ordered. Woo, 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 woo. Yay, yay, yay. But yeah, I agree, John. The DSM should be rewritten completely. But Bobby, first of all, I'm sorry that your family is like that. And I think as much as you can put space in between would be best because that just protects you from that, essentially that abuse and that upset and the constant, you know, uh, their constant maybe ignoring of your boundaries or completely, pretending that it doesn't even exist. That's not a real thing. So yeah, put a little space and then work on yourself. A lot of it's like healing and then figuring out what kind of relationship. So this is a lot, Bobby. So don't, if you feel overwhelmed, totally fine. But like putting space, working on yourself, and then figuring out what kind of a relationship, if you still want to have one, because a lot of people still do. And I totally understand. It's like, what kind of relationship are they capable of? And then coming to terms with accepting that that's all they're capable of. Anne asked, do you have any book recommendations on depersonalization? I can hardly find anything about it. I actually don't. Most of my research is actually like patient based for that chapter. I'm trying to think. Oh, um, I know The Body Keeps the Score is an amazing book. It's not specifically about depersonalization or derealization. Does anybody else have any recommendations? But but yeah, I don't have any that I've read, but The Body Keeps the Score has a lot of great stuff in there, especially about trauma, and they do talk about dissociation a little bit. Um, so oh, Natasha says my therapist wrote coping skill, Katie's podcast in her notes, and I love it. I love it too. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Um, Glenn, distance, thinking about getting the EU citizenship. That's fair. Totally fair. So yeah. Okay. Let me see. Oh, Louisa says, sorry, it's really random, but do you have a favorite famous psychologist? I mean, there's a lot of people that I like in the field. I would just say like people in the field. Like I love Brené Brown, and she's not a psychologist. She's a licensed social worker and researcher, I think. Is that right? I love her. Oh, Kayla pre-ordered. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. So I love oh yeah, but Dodie's videos, agreed Bethany P. So for the person asking about depersonalization and dissociation as a whole, DPDR, as it's called, like depersonalization, derealization. Dodie Clark has some amazing videos on her channel about it. And yeah, that's a great resource. So, anyways, back to psychologists that I like. I really like Brené Brown. I really enjoy Esther Perel. Does anybody else listen to her podcast? Where do we? I think it's like this is where I or where do I begin? Does anybody else listen to that? She's so good. But I love, yeah, exactly, Annie. Brené's social worker, but research, not clinical. She doesn't see patients. So I love Esther Perel. And I do love the guy who wrote Body Keeps the Score. I think is it Bessel? I'm gonna say his name wrong. It's Vander Kolk is his last name. Let me see if I can pull it up because I'm gonna say his name wrong. But yeah, Bessel van der Kolk. I guess that's how you say it, or that's how it looks like it to me. Anyway, those are people that I respect and people who have great insights, and yeah, I love all that stuff. Yeah, exactly, Glenn. It's so anyway, those are all oh, yes, YK says, "I came on late. Will you be releasing an Audible version?" 100%, and it'll be me. I'll be doing the audiobook. There's also ebooks if you prefer that, and yeah. So, okay, I said it correctly. Good, Zara. I wasn't sure if I was saying that right. Um, okay. Yes, where should we begin? Exactly, Jessica. Esther Perel's wonderful, and I highly recommend. Oh, M has pre-ordered. I'm so excited, you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, and Ashley Bosta wants more information on ARFID and OSFED. So more eating disorder stuff. Definitely, definitely. That will be coming. Um, oh, Hadley on Instagram. Unfortunately, my DMs have been a shit show since day one, and I can't keep up with them, and I don't pretend to. And so I'm sorry, that's just not the best way to get a hold of me. The best way is like on live streams, in the comments on Instagram. I try to read those. On TikTok, I try to answer comments. I also try to answer comments right when a video goes live. I get into the comments and get through as many as I can. And also on Patreon, I answer questions. So at the $20 tier and above, you get to ask a question each and every month. And so that's probably the best way to get a hold of me. And I'm only one person, so it just gets really overwhelming. But I know people always try to message on there, and I just can't. I just can't keep up. I can't find them even, to be truthful. TK, is it bad that I give a copy of Are You Okay to all my dates? Hey, we got to find out. Are they? How are they doing? Check in. Oh, Wesley says binge eating stuff would be nice. Oh yeah, I think a lot of people, Wesley, binged a lot during the pandemic. And there's a lot of reasons for that because it's soothing and we felt stressed out. And so read you a story, Ray. Um, you can read my story. I wrote you a story, not really a story so much, but I shared a bunch of stories, personal and other members of our community stories. So hopefully that you like those stories. But yeah, of course, positive change. I just wanted to hang out with you guys for a little bit and tell you about the book and answer any questions you had about it. Oh yeah, Natalie, trust me, there is more than a book's worth of stuff about attachment. Like I said, each chapter in my book, Traumatized, could have been a book. Like each chapter, there's enough stuff in there to write many books. So, oh, Megan says, is Amazon the best place to purchase so you get more monetary benefit? Got to take care of Katie. Oh, that's so sweet of you. I know that the percentages are different on what I get, and I believe small, like like your local bookstore, I think I end up making more, but I want you to do what's most convenient for you because I just want the book to get out into the world. And Amazon's honestly the easiest, and I get that. So yeah, but thanks for asking, Megan. That's super, super sweet of you. Yes, Flynn, the book is available worldwide, but I don't know, has anybody pre-ordered in the UK yet? Because I know we're having issues in Canada.
The link I just shared is
Uh-huh.
the Hachette link,
Hmm.
and the Hachette link has other options as well, but I don't know if it's available in the UK.
Oh, okay. Um,
I think it is.
you guys someone see if the link that Sean okay, Bethany just ordered it and she's in the UK. Thanks, Bethany. Woo woo. So yes, it's available. You can pre-order now. And so that link, the one that Sean just put in, is the Okay, Keely pre-ordered weeks ago in the UK via Amazon. Wonderful. So see, if anybody in Canada, I don't know if the link Sean just got it from our publisher, that link is supposed to work, but it might not. I don't know. Cindy, you'll have to let me know if that works for you. Um, so okay, let me see. Yeah, in the UK, it's fine. Louisa says, yep, pre-ordered. Okay. Oh, is it Amazon Smile compatible? That's a good question. I'll see if it's not. If you guys see that it's not, Amazon Smile is a way to do your local, it's like a way to buy it from your local bookstores. Isn't that right? It's like a help. I know it helps support small businesses. So, um, oh, Ariana, that's a great question. She says, "Can we order the book now and still get/order a signed card later?" Yes, you can. Or do we have to wait until you sell them together? No, they'll be sent out separately because the way that the publisher does it is they print the books and they ship them, and then we will ship out the book little book plate so you can get your signed plate and you can put it in the book. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that. I'd asked them about it, but signing like pages that then go in the book, but they don't do that. So we did not do that. Okay. And Autumn asked if I have any plans of writing a third book. At this point, no, but maybe ask me in like 6 months or a year. Oh, hey, Ronnie. Yeah, long time no see for sure. Oh, and you can order it from the Google Books app. Thank you, Miss Sarah Real Talk. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and she found it from there and she's in Canada. There's our answer. Wonderful. Thank you, Sarah. That's so helpful. So, yeah. Okay. And then Be a Kind Human says the Amazon Smile should work if you go through the Smile browser. That's wonderful. Oh, Smile is charities. Thanks, Annie, for the clarification. Yeah, and positive changes for charities. But that's wonderful. That's good to know. And yes, my book will be on Audible and it will I don't somebody asked when the audiobook will be available and it should be available I'd assume for pre-order now, but maybe not because I haven't recorded it yet, but it will be me and there will be an audiobook. Okay. Oh, of course, Kita. I'm so glad my videos have been helpful. That's wonderful. The third book will be Canadian Nights. If any of you listen to Sean and I's podcast, you get the joke there. That would be awesome. I mean, Graham has already written many chapters, so maybe it'll be we'll co-author it. That would be so funny. Oh, wonderful. Crystal says I pre-ordered on May 6th using Amazon and it does support Amazon Smile. That's wonderful. Yay. Oh, Autumn, you didn't miss anything. Says, wait, what's the signed plate? So back when I don't know if one is in here, you guys. I don't think it's in here, but let me look. No, but for my first book, Are You Okay? There were these stickers from my publisher that I signed. So you got to have a signed sticker you can place. They call them book plates. It's essentially a signed square with my signature and I sign a bunch of them and then they ship them out to you when you've pre-ordered. It's something that was available only for people who pre-ordered the book. And then you just, you slap it in the front of your book and it's like I've signed it. But like I said, I'm hoping to do, a tour and to see some people so I can sign them in person or at least personalize them, like make one out to Ariana or Zara, like sign it out for you. But you know, we'll at least have the book plates for those of you who are all over the world. So that's what those are. So you didn't miss anything. Don't worry. Okay, let's see. Yes, Graham, Canadian Nights, please. Keely wants a Canadian Nights book too. Okay, Niece says you can order it through Apple Books on your iPhone. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I know, Adora. It says signing pages to be bound in the book is hard work. John Green signs every book of his first prints. It's insane. Yeah, and I've seen people doing it, and they'll have these huge stacks of just sheets of paper flipping through. So yeah, I'll hopefully that's something that we can do because I know people really like it to be really signed in the book, but the book plates are the best we can do right now. So we will do it. Make it out to eBay. TK cracked me up. Um, okay, Vanessa says you missed the answer, the second part of my question number 2 on AKA. I'd have to pull that up. I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry. Let me see. I'll get into my drive and let's see. Let's answer some questions here. Um, and sorry, I must have just missed it. Let's open 68. And what question was it? Let's see. Question number 2. Ta-da. The part, and lastly, how can we heal from whatever's causing? Because the question is, what are the things that can cause us to have attachment issues? Can toxic friendships and having been bullied as a teenager cause us to get overly attached? I was talking about that being trauma. And how do we know if our attachment to a person comes from past trauma or if it's actual? I thought we talked about that. And how can we differentiate between platonic? Is that the question? Platonic and romantic love? Let me know what I missed. And I'm happy to answer whatever the question is, Vanessa. And I'm sorry that I missed that the first time around. A lot of times there's a ton of questions within a question, so it's hard to get it all. Okay. Um, Oh, Amazon showed, did you mean Katie Morton with an E, Raymond? How rude. How dare you? Oh, Tom, we are loving Texas. I'm not gonna lie. Our neighbors are nice, people are friendly, the food is good. We have a pool in our community that we can go to, and I feel super fancy. We have a backyard, which feels really nice. We've been loving it. And I also love the thunder and lightning. I know that sounds crazy, but I enjoy big storms like that. So yeah, that's I just love it. Oh, and then Kita says, "Do you have?" Um, okay, the second to last part before last. Okay, Vanessa, I'll pop over there. So, do you have a book about OCD? Kita, I do not have a book that I've written about OCD. I have videos about it, and there is a book that someone sent me years ago called OCD: A Love Story that was really helpful and interesting to me. Yeah, Drew, we moved. We moved um about a month ago. We've almost lived here a month. So yeah. Oh, and Rainblaze, I'll answer that in a second. Says, how am I doing? But yeah, Jennifer, it's nice neighbors, it's culture shock, but I love it. Is Texas like in the movies? Not really. I mean, you do see guys in cowboy boots, which I love because my dad was a cowboy boot wearer, but yeah, I really love it here. I am super, super happy. How do you drop a piano on a narc's head? You guys crack me up. Okay. Let's see. Okay, question number 2 in that podcast before lastly, I'm going up, and we're gonna find it. Okay, it says, "Can having been bullied as a child and teenager cause a person to have difficulty feeling romantic attraction towards someone that's the same age as them and almost always feel romantic attraction toward older people, or is that caused by something else?" I would say that that is caused by something else. Although trauma can cause us to avoid people who remind us of the person who traumatized us. So if the bullies looked in a certain way and were a certain age, like the same age as us, I think that the wanting to date someone older has more to do with maybe how we've internalized the trauma or what we think about ourselves, or potentially attachment based stuff where maybe our parents just didn't support us in the way that we wanted, or people in our lives hadn't, the older people in our lives supposed to be taking care of us weren't there for us in the way that we needed, or responsive to us in the way that we needed, things like that. Then we'll look for our other relationships to fill that void, and so we'll be dating people older. I don't believe that would have caused it, Vanessa. I don't think that that would be why you feel only romantic attraction towards older people. And I think the romantic attraction towards someone that's the same age as you might be missing. I'd be curious about that. Let's think about why, like what that's missing for you. For people that are the same age, what is it that you feel like they don't have? And is it that we want to be taken care of? Or is it that we need someone? I don't know. I don't want to put any more ideas in your head. I want you to try to think about it and be curious about that. And hopefully that will uncover something for you, because there's definitely a reason for it. We just have to sometimes be curious about it till we dig it up. Okay, let's do a little bit more, a couple more questions in chitty chat, and then I'm gonna have to scoot because I've got something at 1:30 and it's 1:03 over here. So little Marum says, "May I ask, how do you know you're having flashbacks, or is it only memories and thoughts?" Of course, Vanessa, and sorry that I missed that in the podcast. Sometimes I get distracted by my own thoughts about things. So I think it's raining. Oh, you guys, it's raining out. I hear it on our roof. Okay, so the flashbacks are different for everybody, but the way that I would define a flashback, and you guys let me know if I'm wrong, but a flashback is when we feel pulled back into that time frame, whatever happened, whenever that trauma happened, and feel like it's happening all over again. Now, flashbacks can look and feel very different. Like I was saying earlier, flashbacks can be like, we're like seeing pictures flash across, like flipping through a picture book, or we could be feel like we're watching a movie of ourselves, or we could feel like we're back in our body and it's happening again. We can feel it in our body and just be body memory driven. There's a ton of different ways that flashbacks can feel and the ways that they can, I don't know, can happen to us. What do you guys think? Am I on point with that? Or um, I would love your thoughts. Sorry, the person that's coming by at 1:30 to help out at the house is just checking in and says they're on their way. Okay, emotional flooding. So yeah, so that's what flashbacks really are. Oh, and let's see. Megan says, "Oh, Marit, that's a sweet message. You are loved." And Megan, I'll get to your question in just one second. Somebody said, oh, I was talking to someone the other day about the messages that we need to receive. I actually talked about it a little bit on this week's podcast because I just recorded that today. But the uh the importance for us to feel heard, seen, understood, and loved is like those things are so necessary for every human. And it's like how, I don't know. There's something so powerful about that and being able to get that out of our relationships and out of our own relationship with ourselves is just so healing. So anyway, Marit, that was a very nice comment to make, and I really liked it. I know, and I would love to go to Mexico, and the food, I know food is delicious. Somebody had said I should come down there, and I 100% agree. And so, oh, and then Megan asked, "How do you know if your binge eating is just boredom or a bigger issue?" I think in general, if we're eating past the point of fullness, that it's an issue. And that could either be because we're not checking in with ourselves and or eating's a way to numb out, or eating is soothing to our system. We have to kind of dig into and kind of, I guess, be a detective about when we're binge eating. Usually it's at night, but not always, and what triggers it. Because for a lot of my patients, a certain situation in a relationship can trigger it, or it could be because it's later in the day and essentially our resilience is down. We're tired. The day has like beat us up in its own way, and we're just more vulnerable to those urges and not able to fight them off as much. Or it could be because there's not as many distractions around, right? Work or school or whatever, maybe the kids. Whatever's happening in our life isn't there to distract, and so we use food to do that. And so yeah, so that would be, that's my thought about it. Dig into that and be curious. Okay, bye, Marit. Have a wonderful day. I hope that I hope, oh, is that is I cannot tell what your avatar is, but I think it's a guinea pig, and I think that's adorable. But anyways, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out with us. Yes, roller girl, right? Heard, seen, loved. So important. Um, of course, Megan. Yeah, I hope that that's helpful. Okay, and this will be the last question. Oh, yes, Vanessa, the live stream will be saved on the channel so you can watch it again later. You can go back and forth and back and forth. Oh, and volleyball 4015. We talk about that in the podcast this week a ton. So check that out. We'll talk about not letting yourself cry in front of people, um, and where that kind of comes from. So that will be talked about a lot. Um, oh, okay. So let's see. Okay, Tom Middle says, "What made you decide to be an LMFT and not an LCSW, LPC, etc.? I'm considering a career in mental health." And I'll do one more question after this. So really, it was because of what I wanted to do. So at the time, licensed counselors like were not a thing in California. It wasn't a path that I found through graduate school at all. And also, counselors can be very limited in California. At least when I was going to school, would be 2008. 2007 is when I was looking into school because I graduated from undergrad in '06. So counselors at the time could not diagnose, and were very limited on what they can treat. And so a counselor was just never something that I was interested in. I know things have changed and every state is different, but I was like, okay, not interested in that. I thought about being a psychiatrist back when I was in undergrad. I was like, maybe I'll go pre-med, and I want to help people that way and blah, blah. But I ended up, taking, or one of my friends had actually taken anatomy and physiology. And I looked at the syllabus and I was like, absolutely not. And so I withdrew. I was like, I can't take that class. That's not going to work. Um, that's not how my brain works. So I was like, I don't think I'm pre-med. So that was that deciding, also the financial component, because my family couldn't afford to put me through school. So all of it would have been on me. And that's very expensive. And then I knew I wanted to work with people. So I wanted to be a clinical something. And social workers tend to work a lot on environment. Now, not all, but traditionally speaking, social workers work in hospitals and they work for communities as a whole, whether it's like the government, local, or federal. And they ensure that we have all of the stuff that we need in our life. Meaning, like my friend Rocio is a social worker, and a lot of what she does is making sure that people have rides to their appointments and all they're getting all the benefits that are available to them. And so social workers traditionally are more environmentally focused, and LMFTs, licensed marriage and family therapists, are more relationship based. So we work on relationships with people and ourselves. And that was just more up my alley. Although for a little while I did consider being a psychologist, a clinical psychologist. But again, the amount that you make on that in the career path did not like you don't make that much more. Maybe like I think the average was like $2,000 to $5,000 more a year for a whole another 2 years of school. And I just the thought of having to, spend another 50 grand on school just seemed like overwhelming. And I was like, that's going to take me like 10 years to make it even worth it. And it wasn't worth it to me. And it didn't change what I could really do that much. So, assess what's in your area and figure out kind of what fits best for what you want to do. Now, Keely has a question, says, can you talk a bit about ARFID or selective eating disorder? I've struggled with this since I was 2, but I've recovered from anorexia. So ARFID is let me pull it up here. I have a video about it, and you can watch that, Keely, for more info. But ARFID's like avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, and it used to be called selective eating disorder. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but back in the day, that's what it was called. And it's essentially like where there's certain foods that we just will not eat and cannot eat. And check out my video. I think honestly, getting eating disorder treatment is best. Let me see what else. What was the question? Talk a bit more. Um, I think something that Keely, my thoughts are eating disorders are sneaky and they change. They're like shapeshifters, and it sounds like maybe your anorexia has shifted into, avoidant restrictive. It's shifted into ARFID, and I think that I'd be very suspicious about that because I have had a ton of patients who came to see me for, let's say, bulimia nervosa, meaning that they binge and purge. And then we feel like they're all better. And then they go out and then they end up having exercise addiction or binge eating disorder without any compensatory behavior. Eating disorders, like they'll find any way to hang around. And so I would be very curious. Again, the way I've talked about this over the years, but the way to actually treat an eating disorder is to figure out what the root cause is because it exists for a reason. It's a coping skill. It's a way to numb out, check out, or whatever. And so if we treat that root, if we heal the trauma or we patch up that relationship or we build up our own self-confidence or whatever it is, the reason that it exists will cease to be there. And so therefore, it'll go away. But until we treat that root, it'll keep growing back. It's like a weed where you just keep cutting it off and it keeps growing back. And so we have to pull it out from the root. Does that make sense? I hope that helps. Oh, hey, Seyfetin. Nice to see you. Glad you're able to hang out. I don't know if I'm saying that name right, but I'm doing my best. A Jizz Jazz, so obsessed with cheesecakes. Strawberries, one of my favorites, and raspberry would be a close second. But I've had a cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory years ago that was like salted caramel, and that was delicious. So, and I don't discriminate when it comes to my sweets. I like all things, and can't help it. Yes, exactly. Pull out the root of trauma. Okay. Yep, it all comes from something. Totally. I mean, that's the thing is we act the way we do and we have the symptoms we have because there's a reason. Something's happened. And so just being curious about that, not judgmental, will give us some information we can then share with our therapist to get the right help. Okay, you guys, I don't know how the whole cheesecake thing started, Ashley, but it's hilarious. Have a wonderful rest of your day. If you haven't pre-ordered already, please pre-order my book, Traumatized. I will be talking about it on all of my videos and sharing about it, but I wanted you guys to know about it first. And thank you so much for your support. I hope that it's a helpful book. That's my goal, as with the videos, is always just to like educate and inform so that you feel like you have the information needed to go out into the world and feel better. Um, Glenn, happy trails, partner. Giddy up, giddy up. Thanks for hanging out, Glenn. But yeah, thank you so much. I know it was so great to see you, Ashley. I'm so great to see all of you. And Vanessa, thanks for letting me know that I forgot to answer that for you. I'm sorry about that. But anyways, yeah, I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. It's only Tuesday. It feels like Monday. Am I right? But, of course, Jessica, always happy to answer questions. I love live streaming. It's just hard. It's like a time suck, and I have to make sure the house is quiet, and it's like finding time for it. It's always a little tricky, but always happy to do it. So you be getting the audio? Yay! Yay, Rainblaze. And it, like I said, it'll be me. I haven't done it yet, but I'm supposed to do it. I want to say it's in like 2 or 3 weeks. I'll record the audio, but it's just such a quicker process. So yeah, little Ruby, I'll try to have more regularity with my live streaming and figuring this out. But thank you so much for hanging out. And if you have any questions, oh, I know something coming in the mail. So it'll come out September 7th. You should be receiving it around that if you live in the States. And then, like I said, if you're in the UK or other parts of the world, it will be about 2 or 3 weeks later. So, be patient. They'll notify you and let you know when it ships and all that stuff. But just know that it's on its way. It just takes an extra minute or two. Um, Okay, cool. Wonderful to see you all. Thank you. Okay, and then Ashley asked, how long does it take to record the audio version? It took me not 2 full days, like 2 days, and I think I did like 4 hours or something. And so those 2 days, so maybe 8 hours, and then I did pickups, which was like an hour, which is just like we need you to re-say this because it wasn't clear. Yeah, it's interesting. You have to talk very clear so that it's all easy for you to understand. It's a very interesting process. So have a wonderful, wonderful week. Like I said, I won't be asking for your questions for the podcast this Sunday, but the following Sunday I will. But next week's will be my episode with my good friend Dr. Alexa Altman. It'll be all trauma based, and I hope that you find it helpful. She's just wonderful. But take care of yourselves. Thank you for those of you who pre-ordered the book. Thank you, thank you. I will be signing book plates and hopefully get to meet some of you. And yeah, hopefully we get to kind of go back to normal a little bit and then get to connect more. So it's not all just online because I like to see you all in person. But take care of yourselves and I'll see you soon. Okay. Bye.